Good afternoon. This is Mike Furman with Iredell Free News. We're here this afternoon on top of the Honor Tower, 7 days for the troops with Scott Burns, who's a Marine veteran who raises money for Purple Heart Homes by camping out in the Honor Tower for 7 days. He's going to be here in the square in Statesville for a total of 168 hours, camping out above the city, raising money for Purple Heart Homes. He has an ambitious goal, $20,000, but he's making good progress already, first day. So Scott, first I want to say thanks for joining us.
I appreciate you coming up here and doing the interview.
And secondly, thanks for your service to the troops. I know you're a Marine veteran, and this is an important cause to you. Let's start our conversation by talking about Purple Heart Homes. Why has this charity become the beneficiary of this event, and why is it so important to you?
Well, kind of a quick history is I started this event because I saw some kids raising money to buy calling cards to send overseas, and I wanted to do something to help. So it was going to be a one-time deal. I did that for about 3 or 4 years, gave them the funds. Then there was a couple other organizations that I gave funds for, and I started doing some research because somebody gave me a challenge coin that they received at a prosthetic show from Dale, and said, hey, you're looking for a group, this might be a good group to talk to. And so I met John and met Dale and talked to them and found out what they do to help veterans, and the passion that they had for helping veterans really spoke to me. But the reason I decided to go with them is there's a lot of groups out there that help post 9/11 veterans, but I got hurt before 9/11, and there's not a lot of groups out there for those veterans. And when I found out that John and Dale had a passion for Vietnam veterans and trying to help them and make their lives better, I wanted to be a part of that.
So you've been doing this for 15 years. You started in Mississippi, if I'm correct.
Correct.
And you're hoping to expand this to 4 to 6 different events this year.
That's correct. I've done it in Tupelo, Mississippi, 15 years. And I'd done it at the mall there in Tupelo, and it was never going to be this 15-year experiment. It was gonna, like I said, it was going to be a one-time deal, and it's turned into it's an event in Tupelo that people know about. Matter of fact, on my 10-year anniversary, I announced, hey, this is my last event. I'm not going to do it anymore. And that next year, ran into the mall manager like in February, March, and he said, are you sure you don't want to do the event again? And I was like, man, I don't know. And that day, 2 of the people that always sponsor my event, like just randomly reached out to me and said, hey, we've got funds for you. Are you doing your event this year? I was like, sure, yes, I'm getting a late start on it. And so I did it again. And so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna make this to 15 years. And so I told my wife the other day, I was like, look, I said, if I go 16, I got to go to 20. And so I will do this as long as I'm physically able to, and as long as I'm able to help veterans.
Well, I think it's an incredible effort, and you've raised over $200,000 for different charities. Purple Heart Homes has become the main recipient, I think, recently. And for those who don't know, Purple Heart Homes, they provide housing solutions for service-connected, disabled, and aging veterans. And the organization is a nonprofit based here in Statesville, was founded by John Gallina and Dale Beatty, who are combat wounded veterans. And so it makes a lot of sense that you do this event here, and I'm sure you will be embraced by our community. If you wouldn't mind, tell us a little bit about your own injury and how you've seen firsthand how Purple Heart Homes helps veterans.
Well, I got injured training in 1991. I did my 4 years in the Marine Corps, had 2 surgeries when I was in. When I got out, I had 21 procedures, surgeries. They put me to sleep, so to me that's a surgery. And ended up, I wasn't addicted to pain pills, but I had to take pain pills every day. For like 20 years I was taking pain pills. and I got tired of taking pain pills, and so I ended up having my leg amputated due to that, and was kind of, I don't know, it's one of those things where I still wanted to serve. I still wanted to do something, and that's why 7 Days for the Troops started. It's just I was sitting home and I was like, I can do something. And so after my 4 years in, having the surgery, fighting the pain that I was having every day, had my leg amputated. And what I love about Purple Heart Homes is they found out. I never told them my house wasn't handicap accessible, but I want to say one of my friends had reached out to him and said, hey, you know, Scott's doing this event for y'all, and his house he needs help. And Purple Heart Homes reached out to me and said, hey, you need to fill out an application, get the process started, and let us look and see if we can fix your house for you. And I didn't want to do that because then it was like I was raising money for myself. And so they understood that, and they ended up about 6 months later reached out to me and said, hey Scott, we want you to fill out an application. I was like, I told you we can't do that. There was another person that wanted to do something for a veteran that was willing to raise money just for my project. And so I felt like, okay, if that's the case, then I'll let them help me. And with that, they came in and fixed my house, made it handicap accessible. And I didn't realize until after they were done, I was being selfish by saying, hey, don't worry about it, I'll make it. Because when they fixed my house, it changed my wife, it changed my daughter, because they were having to help, they were having to take care of me. My wife wouldn't let me take a shower by myself because she was worried that I was gonna fall. And when they got done fixing my house, I noticed my wife stayed gone more. She didn't feel like she had to be there all the time. And so I learned through that process that, one, I'm going to encourage veterans to ask for help, because though I didn't want to ask for the help, my family needed it. And there's a lot of veterans out there right now that may see this to say, well, I'm a Marine, or I'm an Army veteran, and I was military and I don't need to ask for help. You're not asking for help for yourself. You're changing the life of your family. You're changing the way your family feels. You're changing how the family acts. And so that's kind of why for 8 years I've given money to Purple Heart Homes, is because I believe that they are changing lives. And I've always told them, if there ever came a day that I didn't feel like that's what they were doing, that I would go somewhere else, and I would do the event for somebody. But here I am 8 years into it, and I still believe in what they're doing.
And you believe enough to camp out on top of a tower in a city that you don't live in for 7 days in order to raise money. That's a pretty strong testament to your belief in the organization.
Yeah, doing an event in a location where you don't know people makes it hard. Even though Purple Heart Homes is here, I mean, you're asking people that you don't know to trust that you're doing an event, that you're giving the money to an organization. 100% of what I raise here, I'm giving away. I mean, I'll be completely honest. This year, Purple Heart Homes has put me on their payroll, not to do this event, but I mean, there's legalities to doing this event. There's safety issues to doing this event. And so for those reasons, I mean, I'm on the payroll of PHH, but 100% of them, if we raise, say we raise 20,000 or we raise 100,000, that goes to PHH. That doesn't go to me. I'm not getting a percentage. If I raise $500 or I raise $1 million doing this event, it doesn't affect my paycheck. It doesn't affect what I get from PHH. And so, and I believe in being completely honest about that, because for years, I raise the money, I give it away, and that's what I still do. And so I don't want to lie to people and say that I'm not right now I'm an employee, but this is an event to raise money for PHH. It's an event that I come up with for 15 years ago, but it's an event that I'm passionate about.
And there are a couple ways people can get involved and support the mission. The first is they can drop by here and see you on the square for the next 7 days, and they can put their contribution in a bucket.
Yeah.
And you'll drop the bucket down and they can put it in there.
I love the fact that people come by and put money in the bucket. It's motivating. It's encouraging. It makes this week a lot. If nobody comes by, it's a long week. When people start putting money, and I know that there's somebody that's probably watching your program right now, this interview, that can write a $10,000 check, and I will implore you, if you can do it and know that money goes to help veterans. I mean, I encourage you to look into PHH. I encourage you to see how much of what you donate goes to help veterans. But the ones that I love to see are the ones that don't. All they have is $1, but they're willing to put it in the bucket. And at the end of the day, I can guarantee you that the bulk of the money that I get is $1 and $5 and $10 at a time, and that adds up. That adds up to the $200,000 that we've raised doing this event over the last 15 years. But people don't have to come here. I want them to come here. Like I said, it makes me feel good. It makes me think, hey, there's people down here. But if they want to text, they can text to donate, and they can text PHH to 26989, and I look at the number just because I want to make sure I get it right. But I mean, just from right now where you're sitting, you can text that number. You can text PHH to 26989, and you can make a donation. And when I tell you that you changed the life of a veteran, I'm not trying to oversell that, but I've been there. I know what it's like. And I can get emotional when I think about the difference that they made in my life just by giving me peace and mind to go to the bathroom. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I mean, I'll throw it out there like this. I don't want to be vulgar about it, but as a man, there's a certain way you want to go to the bathroom. You want to be able to stand up. They gave that back to me. And there's something about that. I know that sounds crazy, but there's something about that.
Well, Scott, thank you first for your service to our country. Secondly, thank you on behalf of veterans who you've helped. And as Scott has mentioned, Purple Heart Homes is an outstanding nonprofit. They've served veterans all over the country now. They have chapters all over the country, and they're doing great work every day to improve the lives of veterans. So we are honored at Iredell Free News to match the donation that our friends at WAME Radio made earlier during the week. And we would encourage and challenge other businesses in and around Statesville to do the same thing. We're giving $500. We're a very small business with very few employees, so we know even during difficult times that there are lots of people out there that can support this effort. And again, I want to thank you.
And I want to raise money. That's why we're here. But the reason we're here is because there are veterans that need help. And if there's a veteran out there that's watching this, I'm going to tell you there are some ways that you can get help. You don't have to be a Purple Heart recipient. That's one of the misnomers, I guess. People, they hear Purple Heart Homes, well, I don't have a Purple Heart. Honorably discharged. You have to have a service-connected disability. No felonies in your background. There's some things like that. But if you need help, go to phhusa.org, fill out the application. There's nothing wrong with asking for help. It doesn't make you less of a person. It doesn't make you weak. You may actually be saving your marriage. You may be saving your family because you are willing to reach out and ask for help, because your family may not tell you, hey, look, you're getting on my nerves and you're being a burden. And I don't mean in a burden in a I want to get rid of you kind of way, but my wife would have never told me she was miserable. But she was miserable. She had to have back surgery because she was helping me with so don't be afraid to ask for help. And if I don't get another dime from this interview, I want somebody to reach out and ask for help, because it's okay. And I want to thank you for coming out and doing this interview, joining me on top of the tower, and I appreciate the donation.
Well, thank you, and we will check back at the end of the week to see how it's gone.
Thank you very much.